Really?
Yeah.
I want to grab the list of people on too. There you go.
Drive as a result.
Got my gavel again. So we'll improvise.
Sean.
See, this is why I tell you 6:30 is hard. Like, my brain's not even here yet.
And if we could all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, led by Paul Bonaparte. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Welcome, everybody, to our second ordinary meeting of the Village Board of Trustees of the Village of Ballston Spa for the month of October 2025. And thanks for joining us a little early this time because we do have a second component starting at 7 o'clock. If we do finish early, we'll just have to hang out until 7 since we've published it in that manner. Let us go for minutes, though. Can I get a motion that the minutes of the October 14, 2025 meeting be approved?
Make the motion.
Trustee Mendeza.
I'll second.
Trustee Parrish, discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. No presentations. Public comment on agenda items only. This does not include zoning stuff at this point. We have another one for that later because that's not technically on the agenda of this meeting, just to be clear on that.
Will there be public comment during the second meeting?
No, there won't, but there's a second public comment session for all items
Right.
later in this meeting.
All right, that's
Come on
what-
now.
Well, I just want to make sure it's clear to people.
I just want to get us to our business and through our business for this meeting, and then we'll have a little bit more space to do what we need to. So anybody with public comment on agenda items, please raise your hand on Zoom or in person. Nicholas Cromwell has a comment. And Jen will, well, hold on, let Jen get it navigated to you. I know you are.
Liz Corpus, 89 High. I'm questioning 7B motion, authorizing DPW to hire up to 3 part-time laborers at the lowest DPW part-time contractually for the purpose of parking schedule creation. I don't remember hearing anything about this, and wondering if these, the expenses for this are in the budget, or is this something extra? So that's my question.
Anybody else? Seeing none here, seeing no hands on Zoom. You're coming back to us, and don't cut Sean out there.
You can. It's okay.
No, not allowed.
No, as long as I'm not in it, we're good.
Yeah, I knew that's what she was after. Okay, we've beefed up the consent agenda, but if you have anything that you object to being on the consent agenda, we can remove it for separate consideration. Does anybody have anything to be removed from the consent agenda? That's a no, that's a no, that's a no, that's a no. So can I get a motion to approve the items on the consent agenda?
I'll make the motion.
Trustee Raymond.
I'll second.
Trustee Mendeza, discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Can I get a motion approving the purchase of a 2024 Chevrolet Silverado Tarco dump truck, Silverado 5500, for the price of $154,288, and approving the financing of the dump truck using GM Financial's muni lease option of 5 annual payments of $34,960.28, interest rate of 6.662%. This motion authorizes the mayor to execute any necessary paperwork related to the purchase and/or financing, and note that this was included in the budget.
I'll make the motion.
Trustee Price Bush. Trustee Mendeza, discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Can I get a motion authorizing, and I'm going to change the wording here because we were told that how the contract reads with DPW is slightly different here. Can I get a motion authorizing DPW to hire up to 3, it was temporary laborers, correct?
Temporary
Yeah.
seasonal, yeah.
Temporary, in this case, laborers at the lowest DPW temporary contractual rate for the purpose of parking schedule creation. This motion authorizes the ability for the clerk to perform background checks and to keep the temporary employment active for no more than 45 days for the specific purpose.
I'll make the motion.
Trustee Mendeza,
I'll second.
Trustee Price Bush, discussion. Carla, if you want to get into where we are, the parking schedule situation, why we need it, and we'll go from there.
Sure. If you all recall, you did a really good job and put together a parking code about a year ago, last July. Unfortunately, there's no schedules to attach to the codes. The code is sitting there and it's ready to be enforced, but there's nothing to enforce. So we went through and tried to figure it out, but it's really not a legal thing to do. So you were gonna pay us outside our retainer to go and mark parking spots and do, which is just not something that you wanna pay a lawyer to do. So I had reached out and I thought I had sent it to the entire board a couple weeks ago saying, this is where we of name a street, Front Street, the east side of Front Street, from 6 in the morning, or, midnight to 6 in the morning. Well, that has to be defined. So they need to go around and say, okay, this is what it is, and it's 500 feet from the corner of this street and this street.
So they'd write down the number of feet from one corner to when, how are they being guided by that? Is there a sign?
It's what's on the ground now.
There's a sign in place already? to
Or a
tell
sign
them?
or paint in the
Yeah.
road that
Yep.
it's already a prohibition.
So they're not repainting, they're not putting signs
No.
in?
No, they're just collecting the data so that I can put it into.
Yeah, it's just an inventory of existing
Right.
conditions.
Right.
And we
Wow.
don't have it to that precision. We may know where our signage is, but we don't know where our signage is in terms of from blank intersection, the distance to it and stuff like that. That's where the hangup has been created on this.
And we need 3, so when we say temporary, we're talking 20 hours a week, 3
Yeah,
people,
that's
20
the
hours a
goal.
week?
Yep.
That's what we
For
need.
a month and a half.
Yeah.
That's a lot of time.
It's a lot of streets.
I don't know what the minimum rate is, but that's gotta be $6,000-7,000.
I think if you maximized every one of the 45 days, it would be, I think, I figured give or take like 8,000.
So our engineering firm wouldn't do the same thing for us for less?
For less? No. No, their rates are at a zero. So,
That seems like a lot of hours, anyway. You really, so I guess they won't work more than they need to, right? It could be less than 45 days.
correct.
Whenever they're done, they're
Correct,
done.
we're just trying to set parameters here for, to make sure we can at least get the job done, or at least, at the very least, get the downtown done, and then see where we are along the way when they get that done, to branch off into the remaining streets. Say, listen, there are a lot of streets and a lot of miles of road in the Village of Ballston Spa. Even though we're only 1.6 square miles, I think we have around 20 miles of street.
Well, there's also a lot of different, if you look at the code that I sent you, there's like A through Z or A through like V of different prohibitions
Right.
that have to be identified and have to have their own schedule. So there is a lot.
You don't do that.
Yeah.
I know
But,
you
well,
have
you're gonna
all
find a lot of streets with no restrictions.
Right.
Right, and then it's up to you and DPW and the police to decide if you want to put restrictions or if you want to remove some restrictions that are already on here. It's a process, unfortunately, but.
Mary was about to say something.
Oh, no, I said that Carla had suggested that we as a board go out in our free time and try to do that.
I tried.
And it didn't get us very far, so I understand why this
Could
needs
you
to be
identify what
done.
free time is?
What's that?
Could you identify what free time is?
Oh, what is that?
Yeah, I'm glad we're
Sure,
moving
great.
forward with this, because
Yeah, it's not budgeted, but eventually we'll get some parking
Well,
tickets.
yeah, I was just gonna say,
Yeah.
technically, here's what it looks like on the budget. We have a cost for PEO, we have ticket anticipation revenue. We're getting neither right now, and I would assume that if we use our rates correctly for the ticketing, then probably we would exceed what we're paying to PEO, that's the goal.
What's
and that's
PEO?
Parking Enforcement Officer.
Okay.
And also give our police the ability to, in general, when, usually PEO is operating in downtown only. So police will be able to offer tickets up for other locations if necessary, write those up. So, we take care of the village center with the PEO because that also is a business district issue, not having people leaving parking spaces within 2 hours and stuff like that. We're also gonna hopefully be able to, once we get this done, identify other ways like muni meters, maybe for some of the spots, not all of them, but some of them at least. So this gets us just out of the starting blocks to be able to begin accommodating people that want to park in our village for longer periods of time, or, that need the spaces that just aren't being vacated in time, stuff like that. So we kind of need to make a move here.
reality is there's some people that flagrantly abuse our parking, and we don't have a mechanism right now in which we
Well,
can enforce
yeah,
anything.
the
Like,
short duration
dangerously
parking,
so.
yeah, the short
Isn't it?
duration parking, like you said, the best thing to do is put up a parking kiosk. And you do 2-hour increments, and if you want to do 4 hours, well, it goes up exponentially.
Yeah. That's when New York City has started doing some of their, let's say Chelsea meters I've seen, where the first hour is less expensive than the second hour on those meters, and then it's capped at 2 hours in that parking. So I'm not saying we want to get over aggressive on it, but we do want to offer the options for people so that we have the accommodation for everybody that needs to be here.
It would be good to problem solve for the people who live on the second and third floors of the buildings downtown. I think a lot of them put their cars, in front of the building overnight because there's not a lot of good options for them elsewhere to park. And so somehow, that's going to be a big issue.
The biggest problem we're noticing on Front Street is people inventorying or warehousing their vehicle basically in our parking spaces, and that's not supposed to
Yeah,
be
they're
happening.
there overnight.
Well, no, we're talking over a week,
Yeah.
over a month, and that's been noticed by some folks. So that's stuff that we are going to be able to better enforce and tow out if need be. But we can't have that. It's just not a safe idea of doing that.
Not all these buildings have parking in the back.
Understood. We're not necessarily trying to go and punish them for, overnight parking per se, but if somebody's going to keep it there forever, it's not going to be okay. That's a loss of a parking space that a business needs to have active. Okay, any further discussion on that? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I'm going to just say no mayor's announcements tonight to be able to get us to the 7 o'clock meeting since we're about 14 minutes away, but still want to have liaison reports. I will get the treasurer's report right now on my computer so we can get that to you in a second. So let's invert the order and we'll start with trustee Funding.
Just briefly, the Business Association is having a joint networking breakfast at Nourish in Spoken on November 4th from 8 to 9:30. And then they're again prepping for a Small Business Saturday, which will be November 29th, and also the holiday parade for December 5th. So keep an eye out on that. Just a reminder with the revitalized Ballston Spa, also known as the BOA Committee, they're having a public workshop on Thursday, November 20th, and that will be at the Solar Building from 6 to 8 p.m. That's it.
Thank you. Mary?
Just a reminder that Jerry Kraut will be at the library tomorrow night at 6:30 for a book signing of his memoir, Thank You, Mom, and books are available for sale at the library. Also, the Ballston area seniors elections are coming up for president, vice president, secretary, treasurer, membership officer, and 2 directors. They're accepting letters of intent, which can be mailed to the North Line address. And members may run for office after 1 year of membership. And also membership dues are due now if anyone hasn't paid.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
All right, from Caitlin Parwana of the Park and Tree Board. They are still working to winterize newer trees with some weeding, mulching, and pruning. Later in the season, they may wrap some of the smaller tree trunks to ensure great opportunity for trees to survive the winter. As they head into the colder months, the board is already starting to think spring. They're looking into and researching questions for future grant opportunities for our parks and playgrounds, thinking about the budget for the upcoming year and daydreaming about planting more trees to improve our urban forestry. There's a tree grant that they applied for in 2023 and were awarded in 2024. And finally, the funds are available. The state apologized that it took so long. And that's for an urban forestry grant that will help with tree planting, pruning, and removal along Milton Ave and in locations where sidewalk is in need of repair, as well as down Front and Low Street and other stretches of Milton Ave. So that's good news. So they'll do that when the weather gets better. And the next Park and Tree meeting is November 18th at 7 p.m. And I don't have much for Committee on the Arts. There is this Saratoga Arts Grant due. It's due November 21st. If any artists want up to $5,000 grant, they can apply. And the next Committee on the Arts meeting is November 5th. And yeah, go ahead. You
I'm
wanna say
sorry,
something?
yeah, I did reach out to Ashley, just to, the chair of the committee, to get their slate of projects ready for our first meeting in November, because the application's due the 21st. So if they have any questions, happy to work with them on that.
Great. And I guess I say the Sounds of Winter, the next concert is November 15th, 3 to 4:30 p.m. String Wind, it's called. And that'll be at Brookside. And they did get an application for someone to join, and they are looking for another Committee on the Arts member, if anyone's interested.
And Sean, actually, you're going for the list of things that DPW is working on. Go for it.
All right, paving is done for the year. That's a sigh of relief for Scott, and brush is gonna start on Tuesday, brushing leaf pickup. And he's gonna get back to winterizing hydrants that he kind of got set back with paving. We have a new mechanic, which I guess is working out really well. He's doing very well, so that's good news. And we have a new Chevy dump truck that's ready for delivery. I guess we're waiting for approval. Is that a walk-on or?
No, you just did the Tarka?
Yeah, we did that on the consent agenda, right? Yeah. So, and the 2 international dump trucks that we ordered 3.5 years ago are imminent in their arrival They're just getting fitted for a few things. One should be here the second week of November, and the second one should be in early December. So, yeah, good things come to those who wait, I guess. Smith Controls here has been replacing the telemetering system. That was approved back in June, and that should be up and running this week. And unfortunately, we did have one of our DPW staff leave. He found another job closer to home, so we have another position to fill. So that's all I have.
Okay, thank you very much. No old business, no new business. We'll go to treasurer's report too. I promised I would do that. Really did, Thomas, and here we go. There it is. LGSS has sent us our draft AFR report for 2025, and we're just working to make sure everything looks correct in it for getting it out to everybody that wants to see it. We're having actually a call with LGSS on Thursday just to go over some things to make sure everything is right in it. Sales tax was much higher for some reason in October, which I think it relates to, 2 months earlier? So it must be August. So possibly a really good August in Saratoga County, according to this. 22.6% higher, in fact. Whether or not that's all Saratoga Springs City, which gets a 50-50 split or not, obviously is a different question, but our tax receipts are up for the year 4%, which is very good news as well. So stay tuned on how we're doing overall here. We received $145,758, which is a very good month in sales tax. I can report to you, so thankfully seeing that. And re-levies to neighboring towns for outside utility customers have been processed and sent out. Tax re-levy has been sent to Saratoga County, reviewed by them. Expect to receive our disbursements for that in the first quarter of 2026, still inside our fiscal year. I do need to go back here. We did have a walk-on that I neglected, and the attorney to my left who's affected by it was like, hey, you forgot something, and she was right. So let me go and search for that for Tracy. Okay, there it is. And for you as well. It's a motion that the attached invoices of Bartlett, Pond, Stewart, and Rhodes PC be paid. This was not included inside of our abstract, and because we didn't want to edit out the abstract at such a late time, we went this route instead so we can pay them. Need a motion for that.
I'll make the motion.
Trustee Price-Bush.
Second.
Trustee Raymond, discussion? It's technically up for 90 seconds of discussion. Anybody in the crowd, since it's a walk-on? Anybody want to talk about that? Carla? Carla, don't watch. No here, no there, so all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Okay, now public comment on any issue, and if you're in here, raise your hand. If you're on Zoom, go ahead and raise your hand on Zoom as well. See nothing and see nothing? Okay, we will adjourn this meeting, unless there's other business. I should offer that, sorry about that. Sean, any other business? Ben?
I was just thinking the other day, where are we with the employee policy?
She's been giving me the tickler on that to get us moving on that. Again, we need to do that. So this is called. So she keeps reminding me when we get a couple more minutes internally, we're going to do it. Now that taxes and water kind of passed, we're going to have some more time again.
Like, I mean, you have it.
We have
Are
a
you
draft.
saving it? I mean, can you share it with
You
us?
have it, everybody has it.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I sent it to you like months ago. I can send it again.
I don't remember seeing that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But anyway, we are going to reconcentrate.
right
We
now.
talk about it in the office, honestly, we need to get that done. So we're going to be, and actually the consultant that put together actually emailed me last week on that. So everybody's thinking the same way right now. Mary, any additional?
No.
For that? No. Okay, so what we're going to do is we will go into adjournment here and then regavel in a second meeting at 7 o'clock. It's 6:55. Jen and I have to actually get something done between meetings anyway, so this works out perfectly. So can I get a motion that the vouchers be audited and the meeting be adjourned at 6:55 p.m.?
I'll make the motion.
Trustee Fondanza,
I'll second.
Trustee Price-Bush, discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We'll see you back in about 5 minutes.
Right.